Welcome back to Top Knot Entertainment, where you get a chapter of classic literature in 5 minutes. This is Chapter 2 from J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye. Chapter 2 is made up entirely of Holden's visit to see his old history teacher, Mr. Spencer. Holden has mixed feelings about Mr. Spencer's entire existence. There's a lot he doesn't like. Mr. Spencer can't pick up the chalk in class. He has a bumpy chest. He smells like Vicks Vapor Rub. Holden even goes so far as to wonder why Mr. Spencer is still alive. Here's the actual quote. "I just mean that I used to think about old Spencer quite a lot, and if you thought about him too much, you wondered what the heck he was still living for. I mean, he was all stooped over, and he had very terrible posture, and in class, whenever he dropped a piece of chalk at the blackboard, some guy in the first row always had to get up and pick it up and hand it to him. That's awful, in my opinion." Holden is impressed that Mr. Spencer can get excited about seemingly trivial things. For example, Spencer and his wife are excited about an old Navajo blanket he purchased, which Holden finds totally uninteresting. In this chapter, Mr. Spencer represents the system which Holden is constantly rebelling against. Spencer tells Holden flatly, life is a game and you've got to play by the rules. Holden doesn't want to play the game though. He's not stupid, but he's flunking out of school because he can't separate the phoniness of the people in the school with the actual education itself. He dropped out of his past 2 schools because the phonies were coming in the damn window. This is one of Holden's central problems that he will need to overcome. Education isn't the same as society. Education is the pursuit of knowledge. Society is the pursuit of, among other things, status. Holden will eventually realize knowledge isn't his enemy, but at the start of the novel, he's still combining the two. As such, he has no knowledge. Mr. Spencer reads to Holden from the final exam Holden wrote for history class about Egyptians, and it's clear Holden hasn't done any reading or listening and knows absolutely nothing about Egyptians. While Spencer lectures Holden on the value of playing by the rules, Holden lapses into thought about the ducks in Central Park. Here's the quote. "The funny thing is, though, I was sort of thinking about something else while I shot the bull. I live in New York, and I was thinking about the lagoon in Central Park down near Central Park South. I was wondering if it would be frozen over when I got home, and if it was, where did the ducks go? I was wondering where the ducks went when the lagoon got all icy and frozen over. I wondered if some guy came in a truck and took them away to a zoo or something, or if they just flew away. Most people, including you, hopefully, dear listener, know that ducks fly south for the winter. Holden doesn't know this. He thinks they go to the zoo in a truck. This is the danger of rejecting all things, including knowledge. Spencer's trying to warn Holden, but as Holden looks at the old man with his weak body and his antiquated mannerisms, Holden can't figure out why he should bother to listen to a lecture from someone who doesn't have a life that Holden envies. In fact, Holden feels sorry for him. Holden needs to hear Spencer's message, or at least part of the message, but for it to impact him, it needs to come from someone else. Their conversation ends on 2 ominous notes. The first is, here's the quote, "Do you feel absolutely no concern for your future, boy?" "Oh, I feel some concern for my future, all right, sure I do." I thought about it a minute. "But not too much, I guess. Not too much, I guess." "You will," old Spencer said. "You will, boy. You will when it's too late." And then Spencer wishes Holden good luck. It's an ordinary way to say goodbye, but Holden is offended by it. Neither Spencer nor Holden have much hope for Holden's future, so the good luck sounds more pessimistic than anything else. And that's the end of Chapter 2. Now get to class.